Hi there, and welcome to paraview 101. So, as I mentioned in the introduction in the previous video, we're going to load this case, okay, and we're going to use it as a reference now to revisit many filters, okay, many visualization techniques, and introduce maybe new ones. So it is an inside format, the one as I say in another video, I think is the most efficient one, but also you can save it in VTK format, which is very efficient. Also text format is very efficient. Okay, but do not use the native format, so it can be Fluent or OpenFont. They tend to be slow, much slower, and the visualization is much easier using paraview than the native tool in Fluent in this case. So basically, you read the case. Remember, whatever case you have here, the pipeline. So in the pipeline, you have all the steps now. Okay, you are going to see the steps, everything that you're introducing in your visualization. When you load also with that solution, you have a field attached. Okay, so in this case we have the Mach number, temperature, velocity, and so on. So here you select what you want to see or what you don't want to select. So be very careful. This box here represents, it's telling you that this solution, it is self-centered. You can compare that solution also, and be very careful because there are some filters that we already mentioned this, by the way, that, as I was saying, there are some filters that they require node center data. So to do that one, you have some filters. So see that this one will convert cell data to point data. You apply that, and now you see here that you have the point. That point here is telling you that this is a node center, and the box will tell you that it is cell-centered. Okay, so here, let me click here and pass also cell data, so you have everything here. So be careful that some very specific filters will require that. So many times, if I don't have access to this point data, my first step is to do this one. Remember that here you have the filters that you use most of the time, but you can access everything there, or you can search here and you can get there. And when you select something, also here will give you some information. You have the help, so be very careful because, as I mentioned, some of the filters will require very specific data format or no self-centered data, and that information you can get it here. So see that it's telling you that this data, it is in this type and so on. So you know when you can use some filters. Okay, but I have to say that all the filters I think are compatible now with those formats, but it can happen sometimes. Then there is another powerful filter. Okay, so see that in this case, I go back here, I don't see information about what do I have there. So you need to extract that information, those blocks. Sometimes might be some visualization tools, or when you export, it will save that information. Here, everything is in one single file. So I will apply that filter here, and here I have this one. It's called extract block. Remember, you can find it in filters, or you can right click here, add filter, and just look for that one, extract block, that you have it there. So let me do it like this. And this one, basically, you see all the blocks, everything that exists in your dataset. So in this case, I only want to extract. I know that this corresponds to the airplane. So I extracted those surfaces. Let me change the color there, zoom in, and there you go. Okay. Then, for instance, you can apply another filter here, and let me do another extraction, and let me extract internal mesh, because in the internal mesh, I can do some other operations like couplings, string lengths, and so on. I want to hide that one, and that's it. So very basic of paraview. Okay, so you have those steps. As I mentioned also, this one, it will show you advanced tools. So sometimes in one of the videos you don't see this tool is because you don't have this enabled. Okay, so for me, by default, I always have it enabled. What else I want to introduce? So here we're introducing all the very basic. Let me introduce the GUI. So here, what you see here, it is the commands or the filters that you use most of the time. So everything is documented. Most of the time, I say it's self-explanatory, so very easy to use. And then here you can get access to new filters, new sources, new options for view, edit options. You have extractors that kind of, I think some people is confused with this. I think I will prepare a video to show you that. But basically, what you can use this one is to extract information from the dataset. Okay, so the dataset can be heavy. And let's say that you want to only extract surfaces, and you can extract that from here. Okay, here you have tools, very useful. So here you can manage plugins. Remember that you have many plugins, and you can load that, and you can plugins that comes by default with OpenFont, and plugins that you can download from the internet. Okay, Catalyst, I don't use much that. Okay, what else? Okay, you have links, configurations, and so on. Macros, you can create your macros. Here you have Python. Okay, so if you have Python enabled in your version, you can save the script. So I will prepare some videos on that as well to automatize everything and launch from the view, from the terminal. Sorry. So here, when you are in your canvas, now left click. In my case, left click, rotate, right click, zoom in. You have the wheel. You can press the middle button to translate, and so on. So self-intuitive. Okay, I think very easy to use. You can split your view here, and see when you split your view, you need to choose what you want to do. So if you want to render, or to do line plots, or statistics, spreadsheet views, and so on. So we're going to work on that. So let me put another view here, and let me put here extract block 1. Okay, so I have the same aircraft. So let me put here the Mach number. Okay, so just to remind you that this simulation was run, it's an Euler. Okay, there is no shear stress in the wall, so that's why we see the velocity. But we have seen in other videos that we can map that information into the surface noise you have now, the boundary layer, and so on. And let me put here pressure. So you have two views. Okay, and if you want to link these views, right click here, link camera, link, click there, and now they are linked. Okay, then you have here your scale here, so you can change it. Now the legend, and here you can hide it, you can change it. So everything, I have to say, is very self-explanatory. So it's up to you to play around with these options, the color palette, and so on. What else I want to show you here? So for instance, remember, this is very basic. Here you can choose the type of visualization. So you can show the surface mesh, only the surface. Here, this is the streamlines. Okay, so this can be very, sometimes, it requires a good video card, and now also my video card is kidding now, so be careful with this one, and also be careful with this surface leak, because it will require you need to specify the field that you are using now to plot the velocity, to plot the streamlines, and in this case is velocity. So see here that you have surface leak integrator, and you need to use this one. So Euler, you have Navier-Stokes solver, you can use Wolৰীষ্টstresses, or you can map now velocity into the surface. And there are many options. Feel free to play around with those options. Remember the advanced feature there, that sometimes there are some things that you don't see. Many more stuff. Feel free to play with those. So wireframe. Be careful with this one. Later I'm going to show you this volume rendering, and again requires good video card. So here I have my views. There are links if you want to unlink, manage link, and just delete it, or you can edit and so on, remove. So let me delete it, and that's it. Close that. You go back here, and what else I want to mention? So remember, these are the basic options. So we're going to revisit for the view. We play with the display options, the legend. In case you have time, you can access your time here. Here we have just one single time, so you can play here. You can change also here these options and so on. So you have a lot of stuff there, and then the complete options, you can have it there. What I want to mention that probably you have also this, if you're not aware, this is a very powerful option. So here you can undo your camera views and so on to previous view, redo. You can take a screenshot, okay, JPEG, or you can go here, save a screenshot, or you can use a screenshot extractor, and probably that's why people get confused. It is the same stuff, but later you're going in another video you will see the difference what can be done there. Then here also you can save a view of the camera. You have it there. You can rotate here. You have all these options. So this is powerful. I think this is a bug in paraview, or probably my computer. Let me know in the comments. So if I open this one, and I close it now. If I click again, I don't see it. Okay, I need to check the one because with previous version it works, but let me know if it's only me. But in any case, it's not a big deal. But save the state. Remember that you can save the state. When you save the state, you save this view, and then you can reopen. And when you open again, you will get access to that camera again. I don't know if in my case it is only me. So let me put here surface here. Let me go color to remind you also here you can change the color. I like all this green. And to show you this, it is to do surface selection. So you can do like this and you are selecting that. And now with this selection, you can do manipulation. You can do a lot of stuff, okay? I don't want to go into details, but there are some videos that we use this technique. So for instance, if you want to extract this one, now you have this and you extract, and there you go. So that specific patch, you have it there, and I can say, let me put velocity there, and now let me put this pressure, and there you go. Okay, so let me erase, okay, you have row selection, so everything now is very intuitive. You can do many selections, node cells, so that polygon or lasso selection, you can string selection, you can cancel that selection. So it's up to you, okay? And here also advanced features, you will have options to translate and so on. Okay, so this is my selection. You see that you have the information and so on. So take your time, okay, play with a simple case. Probably this is a case a little bit complicated, but you can play. And then, for instance, let me translate this one and you put it there and say that. And if you want, you can go and kind of cast shadows. Let's see if we cast the shadows. There you go. Kind of cool. So here you have, again, be very careful about this. You need good video curve for this stuff. So very basic. I think I covered now the most important thing, the options here. You can right click there, new options, the configuration there, advanced options. Remember here in your data set, when you read it, or the initial one, you have access to the cell-centered data converted to cell points. Also to extract the blocks, you have the filter here. You can recombine also, you can group multiple filters by the way, which is this one. What else can I say about this? Yeah, pretty much it's this. So now let's move to another type of post-processing and use a new filter. So see you in the next videos. Bye.